That's Keepin.
He made the decision to play Thiago. But Klopp doesn't change the system. Since move back left, you don't want to change from the 4-3.
Boom, 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 boom. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on, people? We're back again on the Jerry James Show for another transfer hub. Listen, this is a record for us right now. We're talking 3 days in a row. Boom, 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 boom. I told you we're going to be back, and we're back. Big up to everyone in the building. Big up to everyone that's been going to be watching on a replay. Also, make sure we're smashing the like. Make sure we're doing it upon entry every time we go and I touch this screen. I wish I had a vibrating kind of sensor that just went zzz every time everyone liked, and I know kind of roughly how many people are liking. But big up to everyone. Make sure we're smashing the notification bell as well to keep up to date. Yeah, and make sure we're commenting, man, and make sure we're just respectful in the comment section, and we'll all appreciate each other's opinions, because as we say on the Jerry James Show, anyone's opinion is welcome. Anyone's opinion, man. Big up to everyone. I'm just going to get to some of the people in the comments. You got Endsman. Big up to Endsman saying, look, big up, bro. Leave Gomez alone. I'm leaving him alone. It looks like everyone's leaving him alone, because it looks like he's staying at the club. So we're going to get into that, man. Big up to Gary Richards, Tally Hope. Big up. We got Recency Bias Radio in the building. Big up to Recency. Hope you're doing well. We've got Scraps in the building. Keep it level as well. And we're going to discuss some of the stuff you're talking about in the comments. We've got Captain Sal in the building. Anfield Road N. Revenite. Mr. Ice Spice lives more lives than a cat. We've got MB17 in the building. We've got Honesty as well in the building also. So, yeah, man, big up, big up, big up. So, big up to everyone, man. And let's just get into it. Just get straight into it. Shouldn't be a long one today because the news kind of died. Gomez, along with Matip and other kind of senior defenders, are all set to stay at Liverpool. Andy Jones, reporter from the Athletic, stating that confidence in Joe Gomez is currently undimmed at Liverpool. They do see him, as an important part of the squad for next season, and it does look like there won't be any outgoings at all at right back, at centre back, or indeed at left back. Simicas also looks set to stay unless he were to leave. Joe Gomez last season signed a contract extension, so it is looking, and changed his number, so it is looking like Joe Gomez will be staying with us for next season and will be an option off the bench. I think they do see him as an adequate replacement for Joe Gomez at right back at times, and they do like the alternation of Konate and Joe Gomez alongside Virgil van Dijk when everyone's in form. The first question I want to go and pose to you guys, and let me know, how do you guys feel about that news? Joe Gomez, a player that's come under a lot of stick in recent kind of games, especially towards the back end of the season. Games against Brighton where many joked around, calling him Joseph Matoma Gomez. It just wasn't great at the time, and it's looking like he does split opinion with Joe Gomez. If I'm talking personally, he's someone that at a young age, great potential, raw ability, super high. Of course, he was one of the main centre backs that kind of led us to winning our first Premier League title in 34 years. So he's a massive part of what Liverpool have achieved in recent years. However, injuries have been a massive problem, and I think we're now seeing the outcome of these injuries. We're seeing poor kind of performances on a consistent basis, and it is difficult now, especially when Liverpool are playing, to go and get any kind of rhythm. But you need to be informed, and he hasn't been informed this season. And I think it's led to a lot of fans wanting to see him go, man, wanting to see him go. But the question, that's what I want to go and pose, and we're going to discuss that right now. Is Joe Gomez good enough for Liverpool? And if he's not good enough for Liverpool, should Liverpool be trying to cash in? I would assume with Joe Gomez, we probably get about 30 million for him. That's, for me, adequate money to go and put into the kitty. There are reports of obviously Liverpool being interested with Pavard and Van der Ven and Inacio and players of that ilk. So, look, it is really interesting to go and see, but it does look like, for now anyway, Klopp does have trust in Joe Gomez, and it looks like he's going to be an option for us off the bench, man. We've got Honesty saying before we start, someone needs to pray for Zion, bro. Out here dunking dunking in a different court. Bro's out here living haram. I don't want to get into that, but I'm going to do some research on that. But yeah, man. Zion. Big up to MB17 saying Joe Gomez is stinky. K-Mac saying Gomez equals light out. Joe G, you staying because of the homegrown quota, same as Hendo. That's a massive importance. Are some of these players staying because they add to the homegrown quota at the club? And maybe that's kind of a benefit. We're looking at some of our players, and especially in defence, we haven't really got any homegrown players. I'm not sure if Robertson qualifies as a homegrown player, but still, I think that's a massive part of it. Recency bias saying, I think FSG is using this under 21 euros to stall so they can create an excuse to why they didn't make more signings after the competition. Why not sign a centre back now and focus on Thuram later? It makes no sense. Yeah, but if they're not interested in getting a centre back, then there's going to be a problem, man. There's going to be a problem, and they're just not going to go and do that. So, in regards to kind of your theory, there will be a problem there. There will be a discrepancy. But if they don't want a centre back, if they don't want a defender, and they feel they're adequate in that position, they'll be comfortable just keeping Joe Gomez, and that's what reports are saying, man. Captain Sal saying we're just keeping Gomez to save money. That's all. Angel 968, big up to yourself, saying hopefully Gomez improves next season. The abuse is over the top. Having a broken leg and knee surgery isn't easy. Yeah, 100% it isn't easy, man. It isn't easy at all. What I would say though is, unfortunately, football players are objects to be used when you're a footballer. And what I mean by that is you are only needed when you can perform to the level that you can. So if the same way, I don't know, you might have a knife. If you're a chef, you might have a knife as an example, or some kind of kitchen utensils that are really kind of important to you. They've helped you get to where you are in your career. If they break down, you need to make a meal, or you need to still work. You need to be able to go and invest in different kind of utensils to go and help you. We have this sentimentality, and you can see it with Gomez. Like even what you're saying here, saying having a broken leg and knee surgery isn't easy. 100% isn't. Like, I know for myself, knee surgery is tough. Unfortunately, things like that happen, and the club has to go and move on if you can't hit that level again. So, I do agree. It's not easy, and I think it can be over the top at times. Although, I've been talking about Matip being miles better for years now. In my opinion. Recency bias saying, look, if we're not signing a right back, that means Gomez is the backup right back. We still need to sign a centre back. Matip can't really play anywhere in the back three besides the middle. I disagree, Recency. I disagree. The thing is, Gomez will be able to go and play across the back line. He's played left back. He's played right back. He's played centre back. We've got obviously cover at left back through Tsimikas. At the back, we currently have 4 centre backs. Morton played as a centre back also at Blackburn, and if he comes back, he'll be able to go and drop into that position. Fabinho that can also go and play there. I think the club will look at it and say, look, we don't need a centre back potentially. We don't need a centre back because Matip can play on the centre and he can play on the right of a back three. We actually did that in the game against West Ham. He played on the right. So I think that's what it is, man. K-Mac saying, look, Timber going to Arsenal, he was the only right back Klopp would buy. No, I think there's a few. I think big up to Jamrock. Jamrock spoke about it yesterday in the last stream. Kyle Walker-Peters, who else is that right back? James Justin, as us 2 players from relegated sides that I think would help us a lot in that right back department. Obviously, we still have Calvin Ramsey there. Maybe he's the one to go and step up, although his opportunities were severely limited last season. So God knows what's going on here, man. Recency saying that we are 1 centre back injury away from the 2021 season. I don't really see it. We have currently as it stands, we've got Joe Gomez, Joel Matip, Konate, Nat Phillips, Tyler Morton, Fabinho. That's 5 players that could potentially play at centre back. I just don't see it happening, man. I think if you look at Arsenal had Rob Holding, Saliba. They had 4 or so. Yeah, I think most teams will have 4, man. I think most teams will have 4. So it is interesting, 100%, man. Came back saying Stefan can play centre back too. Yeah, I don't want to see Stefan by Chelsea at centre back at all. He ain't got the minerals for that. Honestly saying, cool, keep Joe Gomez, but then go rebuild the midfield now. Rumours are LFC will bid for Thuram that will cost 40 million. Yeah, we're not going to talk about it 100%. Andrew saying, I agree, JJ. His recent performances have been poor. Gomez must improve next season or be sold. Facts. We've got John in the building as well. I say much love everyone in the chat. Honestly saying Matip for me is not a leader. He needs a VVD or a leader type defender next to him. Then he's Gucci. Otherwise, bro is me trying to swim. Ain't happening. I agree. I don't think he's a leader. I don't think any of our centre backs are a leader apart from Virgil van Dijk. And even at times last season, he was all over the place. I spoke earlier in the season when we spoke about, getting a centre back. We need a centre back that can be that Virgil replacement if Virgil isn't available to go and play. Who's going to be that leader at the back? We haven't got one, unfortunately, and it means that we are going to be susceptible from a defensive standpoint and going to be relying on Alisson a lot because, we haven't got any leaders. But, I agree, man. I agree. Next one as well, obviously, we're talking about, defenders. There's also reports, people. And this really shocked me, man. I need to take my hat off. It's kind of getting hot, man. Looks like we're not signing a right back. Pavard off the table. That really hurts me. That's a signing I would have been excited about. I mean, he's a winner. But it looks like we're not looking to sign a right back either. We're looking to keep what we have. I know it leads on to what I've been saying, but it's just reminiscent of just us doing the same thing, trying to keep the same squad, looking at the squad and looking for solutions in the squad, as Pep Linders likes to go and say. For me, that would be a massive, massive error on behalf of the club. I think we should be trying to go and strengthen and refresh the squad as much as possible. Not even necessarily strengthen, but refresh the squad. Even if you get the same level, I think a fresher players at the same level that we've got, I think, perform better. We're currently unable to go and do that. Pavard looks like he's off the table. We were linked, obviously, early in the window with Tapsoba from Leverkusen looking like he's going on a free to Spurs. So, from a defensive standpoint, unless there are any major outgoings, the senior players are all set to stay with no outgoing. So no right backs coming in, which does suggest to me that Trent will have a right back kind of role to play next season, and it'll probably be in a similar fashion to what we saw at the back end of last season. And we spoke about yesterday with G, and I think I would have liked him to just go and play midfield. It would have given us something different. It would have changed the dynamic of the team. It would have been a massive move away from what Klopp has done, but maybe that's something that, I don't know, the squad, the players, Trent himself would have needed to go and get to that next level. And I'm not sure whether just us reloading it again, and we've played that tune, the clip so many times on the channel, just reloading it. I'm not sure that's the way to go, man. I'm just not sure that's the way to go, but I need to know what you guys are saying here. We're going here. Big up Ravi saying, what other positions need prioritising? Yeah, we're going to get into that later on. Big up to yourself. Honestly saying, so if Joe and Trent gets injured, then we are screwed. If we ain't buying a right back, why send Ramsey on loan? We are screwed, but let's be honest. We can say that for any position then. We can actually say that for any position. We can't have 4 or 5 solid options for every position. That just doesn't happen. City don't have that. No one has that in football. Having one backup, you don't expect players to get injured. Having one backup, solid backup, and then other players that can fill in those roles are something that Liverpool needs. So, look, we've got Trent that can play at right back, Joe Gomez that might be an option at right back, and we've got Calvin Ramsey. That's 2.5 options. So you've got one option that's just, they're in desperate cover, and you've got 2 solid options to choose from. At left back, we've got the same thing. We did have the same thing. We had, Robbo and Simicast that could play at left back, and then we also had Milner who could fill in that role, and he was at that half player. And I think that's the route Liverpool are looking to go down. I don't think we're looking to go and get any more than that. I know recency spoke about the 2021 season where we had massive injuries at the centre back position. That the club are going to look at that as an anomaly, and they will do, because they haven't got the money to go and spend. And even if they did, they wouldn't have view it as wise anyway. They probably want to invest in other areas of the team that need strengthening. So, yeah, same thing we said about Salah. If Salah was to get injured, who's playing at right wing? If Fabinho was to get injured, who's playing as a DM? Currently, it's Henderson, and that's it. So, yeah, it is. It's a difficult one, man. It's a difficult one. Big up to John saying this club needs a real demise from the top for folks that actually smell the coffee. I said this ages ago. We need a real harsh kind of reality check, and I think that'll get people. Fix people up. Angel Net 68 saying, well, we were the third highest goal scorers in the Premier League last season. If we solve problems in the midfield defence, we could challenge. Yes, but it doesn't work like that. I think it's very simple to go and say, because we score more, if we sort out the defensive midfield, we're fine. We were able to go and score a lot of goals because we played in a fashion that exposes our defence. If we shore up the defence, we may potentially not score as much. So we may still challenge. I'm not debating that, but I just think that sum that doesn't necessarily always make sense. They kind of like take away, like improve the defense and score this. It does on paper. Improve the defense, score the same amount of goals, you're going to be competing. It just doesn't work like that. We were able to score that many goals because Trent was in positions that were so advanced. He was able to go and create and just at least cause havoc just by being in areas of the pitch. It meant defensively he was just non-existent though, and that's the kind of trade-off you've got when you play football. GTV saying Ramsey on loan. Of course, Jesus, Ramsey is on loan. Yeah, man, crazy. Redbird saying, do you trust Klopp and FSG to get a couple of more good players in and not Deadwoods? Who would you view as Deadwoods? So let me know in the live chat now, who would you view as Deadwood? Would Mount be a Deadwood as an example? Is Ward-Prowse Deadwood? Is Kone Deadwood? Is Thuram Deadwood? Like who would you view as quality signings? So let me know. Honestly saying, JJ, have you seen Trent assist for Saka's second goal? Right back / midfielder. I did. The ball over the top. I have done. K-Mac saying Thuram is done, mate. Trust. I don't think so. I don't think it's done, man. We got Panel Scouts. Big up, Jerry. Big up. Hope you're doing well. We got Matip as well at the back. Big up to yourself. John saying Klopp still persistent with makeshift vibes. Kiss my teeth. Yeah, that's what it's going to be, man. That's what it's going to be. Speaking of Thuram, big up for K-Mac for that segue. Big up to K-Mac for that segue. Oh, it does look, people, like Thuram, the signing of Keepin Thuram will have to be delayed until after the Under-21 championships, the European championships. Liverpool are in deep talks. They do want the player. I think it is quite evident there. Neil Jones from Goal, the Athletic all reporting Liverpool are very, very keen on the signing, of Keepin Thuram. However, he's not going to be a player up until, a couple weeks' time, maybe a week's time, depending on how well France do in the European Championships. And then, it's a signing now that people, I think, rightfully so, are getting a bit worried about. When you look at it, we signed Kevin McAllister, got off to a great start in the transfer window, looking to kind of build on that momentum, and everything seems to have died down. We were linked with Kone and Thuram. And now it seems as though Kone's dropped, so it was Kone, Thuram, Ward-Prowse, or so many midfielders. Ward-Prowse is a big one. That seems to have died down. The Kone one seems to have died down now. And now it seems as though Keepin Thuram's the only one standing and only one left standing. And I don't understand why Liverpool can't just pay the deal now and allow him to do his medical before they go off to the European Championships or even during. We've seen it happen before. I don't think a medical really takes away from the kind of his mentality at the European Championships, or you would hope not. And I just want to know from new people, how likely do you think the signing is going to happen? I mean, you got K-Mac here, big up to K-Mac saying, look, like, trust mate, that deal's done. I'm not so convinced. I think I've learned with Liverpool when I only trust it once the deal's 100% gone through. And if it hasn't gone through, there are going to be problems, man. There are going to be problems. So, yeah, man. Big up to GTV saying quality, no. Well, we ain't linked to any quality midfielders, but wouldn't say anyone is dead? Wouldn't you say? But wouldn't say anyone is dead? Would though? Facts. Redbird saying my bad. Deadwood is the wrong word I used. Oh my god, Redbird. Oh my god, I apologize. Guys, can anyone let Redbird know that I banned him by accident? I need to kind of just get that sorted. So how do I do this? Yeah, just tell him apologies. I'm going to go and unban him as we're talking. But if anyone can contact Redbird, that would be amazing. That I'm trying to put his comment up, and I've banned him and removed his comment. So apologies, Redbird. Jesus. Angel S68 saying Ratcliffe may take the Thuram transfer, may make the Thuram transfer expensive and difficult. Maybe so. I think it's difficult as well when you see the likes of Arsenal moving very, very quickly in the market for players that are of a much bigger profile than Keepin Thuram, and we're unable to get that over the line. I think that causes a massive, massive problem. I just think it does. And I think Liverpool are in a position where they just need to act fast. They need to be very, very shrewd in the market. We've done this in the past. We need to do that again, and I think we're stalling a lot. How do I do this? Hold on. Community moderation. Jesus Christ. But I'm gonna have to do that later. But apologies, Redbird, man. But yeah, so that's what it is for me, man. We got K-Mac, big up to K-Mac saying signing the under-21 players was always going to be a struggle because of the competition. Thuram, Kone, Van de Ven, Viega, all we have done the hard work. I disagree, man. I think you can do it much, much quicker. I think we've seen it, these medicals done whilst players are still on international duty. I just think that's not a problem, and I think agent can still get a deal over the line for me. YouTube stream, 100%. Apologies, people. I need to try unban. I need to unban Redbird, man. I feel bad for Redbird. Like, I feel so bad for Redbird. I've never done that in my life. He's probably kicking himself. You know what? If I end up just just attacked in my apartment, then yeah. Appreciate it, K-Mac. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. That's what I wanted. As long as he knows it's all good. Big up to John. John saying, look, this is a club that couldn't even get Damien Duff over the line years ago, so it's a heritage at this point. Facts. Colin Blackshaw, big up to yourself, saying, all I'm seeing yet again linked with quality, trying to get cheap. I fear FSG won't pay. Yeah, I agree. It's a weird one, man. I don't know how much I believe in this Thuram deal until it happens, man. I don't know how much I believe in it. I think it's the same with the McAllister deal. I'm not saying it won't get done, but we have to operate just at a bit of a better level, man. Oh, why do I look so like tanned and red on this stream? Yeah, man, that's much better. Let's get the hell on. We're back. RJ saying Jerry hates Redburn and banned him. Why you like that? Captain Sar saying, look, until the player is holding the shot at the AXA, I'm believing nothing. It's just speculation as far as I'm concerned. Facts, I think that's the way to go and look at it. Look, there's news, and I think some news is more kind of valid, more important than others. But at the same time, it's just news, people. It's just news. It's just news, man. Yeah, so when it comes to Thuram, that's what we're looking like, man. That's what we're looking like. How many of you want Thuram? If you could pick any midfielder, right, in the world, would we guys be picking Thuram, or is Thuram just a name that because us as fans are linking him with Liverpool, or we hear that Liverpool are interested? Are we actually interested in Thuram? Because big up to Jamrock, this is what I'm talking about. Has anyone, bar a few people, actually watched Thuram play? I'm going to be deadly honest. I've seen one compilation. I've only got one compilation. I've watched one compilation for me. I mean, the way I compare him, he's a cross between like a BTEC Pogba and like Fabinho. That's what I see when I see him play. But that's through the compilation. I don't know how good he is in a 90-minute game. I don't know how effective he is in a 90-minute game. You have to use the stats, and I've just got to analyze it that way. I mean, we're not all, as I said, GTV, watching these players day in, day out, and they're making Sky reports on them. We've got Revanite saying, you know, Alexis McAllister, Barella to Ram for me. Okay. Third in line. We've got K-Max saying, Thuram is an 8 out of 10 signing for me. Jamrock saying, I would pick Manu Kone. Yeah, I hear you. Honestly saying, LFC loves to keep their business hush-hush until it's very close. LFC don't show their hand easily. I hope we do what we need to do in the next week, and we can be here saying, damn, we signed 2 or 3 players. Facts. I agree. GTV saying he's one of those players that alongside quality midfielders you would sign, but as your main signing is very, very immediate. Yeah, that's what it is for me, man. He just it's like I say, these players, man. If Manu Kone and Kefren Thuram ended up signing for Aston Villa, would we be too surprised? I don't think a lot of us would. Or if he ended up signing for like Villarreal. And that's my problem with it. That's my problem with it, man. That's my problem with it. Yeah, came up saying Barella for me too, but he will never leave Inter. He's a god. I think he would leave Inter. Will cost 80 million. Liverpool ain't got 80 million to spend. Revenant saying, I've heard French football experts say that this guy's the potential to be one of the best mids in the world. And watching the comps, I've seen his physique and player style could suit the Prem. That's what it is. That's the analysis I've got from him, man. Tall player, good profile. I mean, we'll have to wait and see at this point. I don't really care about the names. I just want the players in. And I think all of us just want the players in before pre-season. I think that's the most important thing. Yeah, what other news is there today, people? We need to have a look at this news. Because, like, it don't look great. Hold on. Yeah, not a lot today, man. Not a lot today. But it looks like Havertz, isn't it? Havertz is signing. We've got Jamrock saying, I'd want a midfielder of Manu Kone's ilk first and foremost because of who our coach is. I get it. And that's a massive one as well. But up to Angel 68. Luis Diaz scoring for Colombia. Guys, and yeah, we need to do this. I didn't know this until my missus was Colombian. This Colombia, the Colombia you spelled Angel, and a lot of people is the American Colombia. So it's spelled with a U. It's Colombia with an O. That's the difference. But yeah, great goal for Colombia against Germany. Germany are in the mud. And linking and speaking of Germany as well, it looks like Klopp is being linked, with that job yet again. Massive pressure in the media outlets for the German FA to do everything they can to get Klopp over to the national team. Obviously, again, Klopp maybe not as big or much as of a polarizing figure as Joe Gomez, but there are some factions of the fan base that would like to see a change in the managerial department. And I'd like to know from a lot of you guys, how would you guys feel if in this window, Klopp left to go and manage Germany and we had to go and bring in someone else, or we had to be on the look for a manager? Would we be happy? Would we not? Me personally, I've spoken about, wanting a change of a manager, and I think that would give the club a massive boost into just refreshing the ideas of the playing style, etc., player morale. However, to do that now would be absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. Schmatker's come in as his director of football. Klopp's made these plans for pre-season and made these plans for signings. And when we tried to get a new player, it would have been crazy. A new manager would be crazy. It would be crazy. But if Liverpool had done this, Jesus Christ. K-Mac saying, Jerry, Rams would be happy if Flicks come to LFC. 100%. He'll be giving Flick a flick. How about that? Honestly saying, JJ, would you take Thuram's older brother at LFC, bring the whole bloodline in? Striker, again, he's a player that I've seen in drips and drabs. He's all right. He's not that great, though. He's not the most technical forward. He's just a big guy, innit? A big specimen. But, I mean, yeah. I mean, it's probably like a Darwin Núñez. That's the kind of bracket I put him in there, man. So I think we've already got one. John saying, I beg Klopp just take the job and leave us. Jamrock saying, I wouldn't worry too much about it. Klopp ain't leaving. Yeah, I'm not saying we're here to worry. It's there, isn't it? It's there. Kai saying, where do I sign? We've got Mark A saying, don't think Klopp likes international management that much. To be fair, he doesn't know. He's never done it. So we're just not sure yet. We're not sure. Revenite saying Marcus Thuram isn't great. Would take him. Yeah, that's what it is. Came out saying, does Germany pay 15 million a year? Yeah, I'm not sure, man. I'm not sure if he pays 50 million a year, but hey ho, man. Hey ho. But yeah, people, look, that's going to be it for today. Just a quick summary of what was popping in the transfer market this today. If there's anything popping, if there's anything that drops, we're going to be right back here. We're going to be right live. But look, there's no point just going and talking about that nonsense stuff. We know what it is already. We want Keepin to run. We're waiting for Keepin to run. Is he going to? Not too sure yet. But look, we're just going to have to just wait until the under 21 championships. We're going to have to wait until those championships kind of conclude. And then, look, we might get linked to some other players. Maybe it's a Ward Prowse. Maybe it's someone else. I mean, God knows, there might be some outgoings that we're still waiting for. Going to get into, obviously, the last kind of thing as well. There is a video, actually, when we're talking about exits, that's circulating. Let me see if I can actually find it. Where would that be? I'm going to try and find the video so we can just play that before we head out, of the players that apparently, it looks like Liverpool leaked the players that might actually be leaving. So let's just go have a look. Who am I going to look? Anfield. Is it Talk or Edition? Let's go with Edition. I feel like Edition there. There you go. I've got it. 2 seconds, people. I'm just going to go and show this. I think it's wise to go and show this. I think it might open some people's eyes. I know someone in the comments actually put it in there, and I said I was going to go and bring it up. So 2 seconds. Oh, again, what do people think of the Kai Havertz deal as well? Just on a side note, going to Arsenal. I'm quite interested in that, to be fair. It's a weird one. It's a weird one, that one, man. There we go. Cool. Yeah, we can share it. No worries. Hold on. Hold on. How do I restart
They're on
this?
the way. Is that a clue from the club?
See if I can.
But it was well spotted by a lot of people. That was about 20, 30 people noticed that.
Hold on. Oh.
So last season's kids.
Yeah, that's big as I can do it. Well, as you can see, Matip, he's got the old top there. Thiago,
Matip,
old top
and
there.
Thiago. They've still got their old kits.
The old top there.
So does that mean
who else?
They're on the way.
Elliot's got one.
Is that a clue from the club?
Got one.
But it was well spotted by a lot of people.
Gomez with the old top there.
20, 30
the
people
old
noticed
top
that.
there, and
Which I didn't, and I was there.
The old
So
top there.
well
All
spotted.
main signings with last season's jersey, you know, not the upcoming season's jerseys, and that's one that when I was looking at, I was like, oh,
last
okay.
season's.
Interesting, man. Interesting. Looking here, you know, might as well before I head out. Jarrett asking for the Barella pressing stats. Yeah, why not? Let's have a look. Let's have a look, man. Who are we comparing it to? Let's compare him to like Kone. Why not? I know you like Manu Kone. Let's compare him to Manu Kone. Quadio Kone. Uh, 2 seconds, people. Barella, yeah. Nicolo Barella. All right, cool. Bear with me 2 seconds, just getting this up. See ball recoveries. Might as well look at passes completed. Through balls attempted, forward passes, sideways passes, duels, ground duels won, ground duels contested, aerial duels won, take on success, defensive actions for interceptions, and then yeah, that's all right. I will use that. Cool. Let me just share this with you guys. All right, people. Well, as we can see here, so hold on, let me just fix this because that's the Bundesliga 22-23, 22-23. This is So as you can see, Nicolo Barella has played more games than Quadio Kone. As a result, obviously played more minutes, but not by a lot. Quadio Kone has got more ball recoveries in comparison to Barella, 221 to 178. In terms of passes completed and passes attempted, he's passing much more. However, the accuracy is just a bit, it's a bit lower, but that does make up for it when you're looking at, you know, the attempted through balls made, which was 6 through balls attempted last season. Looking at forward passes, Nicolo Barella, again, more forward passes, more sideways passes as well. So he actually keeps the ball a bit better. His take on success is 10% better. He's winning more aerial duels. However, he's being beaten a lot on the ground duels. So 368 to 244. Those are ground duels contested. He's winning 200 of those duels, Kone, to his 368 attempted. We've got Nicolo Barella attempted 244 duels, but only winning 135, and then 32 interceptions to 12 interceptions for Barella. So from a defensive standpoint, Barella, great player, but from a defensive standpoint, the stats do edge in Kone's direction. So Jamrock is right. He probably does fit kind of what Klopp's trying to go and do a bit more. You know, if Barella was going to City, we'd probably be looking at that and being like, oh no, here we go again. It's like the Kovacic signing. I think the Kovacic signing is fantastic for City. For Liverpool, it wouldn't have been a great signing. So that's where I'm going to leave it, man. But look, people, appreciate obviously everyone tuning in. Thank you so much for obviously tuning in for the quick 45-minute show. I hope to be with you guys tomorrow as well with some more news and some more interesting news, man. Today was a bit of a Debbie Downer bummer day, but look, we move. Make sure if you're watching this on the replay, we're smashing the like and leaving obviously a comment in the description about what you think about, you know, Gomez staying, Matip staying, no outgoings. But then obviously we've got the video that I've just shown at the end of the stream where it's just showing us something completely different. So what's going on there, man? What's going on there? Of course, how do we feel about the Thuram signing? The fact that it's been put on hold up until after the Under-21 championships. A lot of us do want the signings now to kind of be secure, but look, we just don't know. We just don't know, man. But look, until next time, people, it's been the Jerry James Show. Smash the like, and we are out.